So good evening, everyone. Welcome. It's lovely to be with everyone again. Every week, we want to share more and more of the wisdom of Kabbalah. And one of the important parts that we share is not just simply wisdom that someone came up with, or some smart author, or a scholar read something and came up with a new concept. It's not. What we're sharing here, and this wisdom, of course, was shared with us from the day of creation in many different levels, in many different layers. And today we have way more written stuff and more, understanding of Kabbalah like never before. But what is Kabbalah? Kabbalah is inclusive of all wisdoms of the world: math, physics, astrology, any wisdom that exists. You can find a string that connected from that what we call the top of the wisdom, the highest level of the wisdom. You find many strings attached to different wisdoms that many of us recognize before and know about it in this world, using it. But the link, the connection to them is go all the way up to that wisdom that was concealed for thousands of years. And we are very excited and motivated to share this wisdom, because personally, I see how many people transform their life, transform the way they think, transform their misery into opportunity to grow, transform loneliness into relationship, transform, losing into gaining, and many others. And that wisdom can do that if you use it correctly. You can solve a lot of, and that's the reason that we bring in this wisdom, is to obviously to show us the wisdom of the Creator, that is never about religion or just to believe in God, right? To believe in God, you don't need anything. You just simply tell yourself, I believe. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for, us, each one of us, to grow to the highest potential of who we are, to the greatness of what we came here to do and to become. And for that reason, this week, there's a beautiful understanding on specific time zone, because right now we are a couple of weeks before the energy we call Passover. Starting last Friday, a couple of days ago, we entered to the energy called the month of Aries. The month of Aries is known to be the month of war, right? Mars, ruled by the energy of Mars, which is the warrior. But we know historically in this time, in the month of Nisan, which is the month of Aries, and in the middle of the month, we find a holiday that people more associate with these holidays are Jewish people. But we know that Kabbalistically, Passover was open from the moment of creation for humanity, that eventually humanity come to the moment that they can connect or reconnect to their soul. They have a huge opportunity, cosmic opening every year for humanity. It's never about people, and obviously in that particular time in the month of Aries, there is what we call Passover, meaning historically, the Israelite, which is inclusive of all people of the world, it wasn't mentioned the Jewish people, mentioned the Israelite, Bnei Israel, the people of Israel, which is not the people, it's not a land, is level of consciousness. They were in a way slave in Egypt. And in Passover, that's where they depart from that slavery, from that prison, and enter to the desert, and so forth. The story for those of us who know. But that's obviously, it's very low when we think in this way. Why? Because what does it got to do with me? What does it got to do with me? It's happened 3,300 years ago, 3,400 years ago. I want to know what, I wasn't in Egypt. I wasn't a slave. And I don't know, why do I need to celebrate all of it? What's the opportunity for me? What does it mean for me? The obvious answer is the rest of the world have no clue, but if you study a little bit deeper, you realize it's nothing to do with 3,000 years ago. It's a message that appears cosmically in the universe every single year. That message has been coming to us, allowing us a jail-free card. What do you mean jail? Sometimes people are trapped within some kind of an ego type, or some type of addiction, or some type of relationship that they cannot get rid of, or that feels like prison. Some type of career that they cannot find. They feel like they are in prison and they cannot get out of it. What is that idea? The idea that most of us are not even sure that we know that we're all in a prison. What is the prison? Our physical body is a trap for our soul, for our greatness. The physical body sees limitation. The physical body is experiencing only smallness compared to our soul that's trapped within that body. And that body have so many behaviors and so many emotions that eventually take over and doesn't allow the soul and our unlimited existence to be explored. That being said, in these weeks, also we go deeper into the writings of the Kabbalists. And specifically, we go to the literal story of the Torah or the Bible. And we find that this week, it speaks about that in the desert, in that time, if you were speaking what we call evil tongue, evil speech, a leprosy will appear on that person's skin. Then he would have to go to the 7 days quarantine, and then the priest goes and look and if it's passed, he let him out. If it's not, he continue another week. Sounds familiar, right? For our period of time, quarantine, viruses, spread of the disease, right? But here we're talking about, so let's just start slowly. If someone would speak negative, if someone will speak an evil speech on someone, a leprosy will appear on his skin. Therefore, they will quarantine the person. On the side, some of us will say, wow, this is wrong, right? This is bad. If you see someone have leprosy, you realize, oh, probably you spoke bad. That's why you have it, right? No. It is actually, if someone had leprosy, it's actually great. Why? How many times happened to us before when we did something negative and there are no consequences? There are no consequences. So you think, oh, I can continue and behave this way. I can continue and speak bad. How many times you spoke bad about people? How many times you spoke bad about yourself? Leprosy happened? No. Business as usual? Yes. Even that it's bad, you continue doing it. We continue doing it. And then people actually keep doing it. But imagine if, you go back and it says this was a gift, that leprosy was appear on someone's skin, that was a gift. Why it's a gift? Because to tell him to change his ways. Because if you continue this way, you're completely disconnected. So obviously we see that today we have a little issue because we keep doing and behaving in a complete disruptive way, in a negative way, not changing the world, but in a destructive way. And we keep going and everything is okay. No, everything is not okay. And not everything we can continue this way. But let me explain to you a little bit deeper here. Obviously we see, if you see negative results of a negative behavior, most of us need to understand it's a beautiful moment for you to say, wow, I need to change my way. And when negative result doesn't come, even though you behave negatively, what do? Right? That's part of our difficulty. Because if nothing is wrong, I'm going to change it, right? The word the Kabbalist is using for leprosy, it's called Metzora. Metzora. What does it mean, Metzora? Metzora is Motzi Shem Ra. Metzora is Motzi Shem Ra, which means evil speak, getting out, right, from himself, from you, evil. What is the problem with evil speech? Yes, there's the surface, on the surface we see the problem, but really spiritually one need to know what's happening. Every time you engage with evil speech, you create walls around you. It's not imaginary, but spiritual wall to block any sort of energy to come your way, any sort of flow to enter to your system. Every time I speak, I'm engaged with evil speech, you start to create barriers of light, energy, flow cannot touch you. And if it does, sometimes it's very hard to move us forward. But why that evil speech? They speak about it as the worst thing that one can do. People kill, people murder, people steal. But they didn't say like they speaking about evil speech. Why it's so bad? Why they say it's so risky speaking bad? Why? What is leprosy? Leprosy is not local disease. Once a person have leprosy, again, I hope you understand, we're not talking about the specific disease. We're speaking about the spread of it. What's the problem? Because it create, right? It create spread. The entire body get affected, get infected by that disease. Which means, tell us something. We're not talking about evil speech that does something physically to you, but creates spiritual diseases like laziness that you cannot even detect. What is spiritual disease? It's something that limits the individual and its ability to feel the other person, to create bond with unlimited people, to be transparent. Why transparency is it's a very great word that happened in the last 3 to 5 years back, right? Now people stop using this word, but this word was a big word, but it's very difficult. Because when we engage with this spread, with this type of energy, it's very hard to be transparent. And even if you are, it feels fake because of those barriers that we create by engaging with evil speech only. Not even say you have to do something negative. Just speak bad. Already have a problem, and I'll tell you why. So now, look at a virus. Now, I don't know so much about the rules of a virus, but if an individual, from what I learned from this period of time that we've been, you can correct me if I'm wrong, it's okay. But if someone have, let's say, a virus, someone have a virus, and he interact with people, it might be that he can transfer, right? Can be contagious for 1, 2, 3. From what I understand, if a person is contagious, he cannot spread it to too many people, meaning the virus gets weaker. But what happens is, if the person that they infected, he can go and keep spreading it. He himself, the carrier, can spread, but I think there's a limit for that. You can correct me if I'm wrong, which is not really a problem. The big issue is why evil speech is a very deadly source. Because when you speak bad, let's say you affected one person next to you, right? And maybe if that person will never go and interact with other people, the spread will stop. But the problem is that the other person is going to meet another individual, they're spreading the disease to them. And that's on you, not on them. Meaning you cannot affect infecting the third person. You're affecting the second person affecting the third. Now the third, it's unlimited. And that is the problem. Because the evil speech travels so far, way more faster than any virus that you saw. Corona, you think it's fast? It's very slow. The spread of evil speech and the negativity that it brings to the world, the spread is quickly, you cannot even imagine. Now, let's understand, because the influence that we want to have is completely different. Because the same way evil speech can do that, we can change it in a better speech or in a better use of your mouth. That's the key. If we see that the spread of that negativity can be so quick, so fast in the world, imagine how we can change the world, shifting the total energy existed in a second with the power of our mouth. And that is the power that is appearing in the month of Aries, the month of Nisan. It's called the power of your mouth. Let's understand it. This month, Kabbalistically called Nisan. If you sum up the letters, the numbers of the letters, the numerical value of them, you get twice the number Pe, which is mouth, twice. So, what does it mean? It's the power of speech that is been coming to us this month. That's why he says Pesach. Pesach is Passover, but literally means Pe, mouth, Sach, that speak. The mouth who speak. That's what Pesach is. But also, we learn that in this month, there's a beautiful revelation of the energy source of this month, represented by, again, without going into many details, it says the right leg. What do you mean the right leg? The right leg represents, in the context of the Kabbalistic context, the ability to skip over. You know, when they says pass over, why pass over? Because supposedly God passed over the house of that was marked with blood. So that's why they call it Passover. It's very nice religiously or historically to call it this way. But what we're getting here, that's skipping over, that humping over, that jumping over, that ability that we have within us to see any challenge and completely go above it. Pass over any challenge. Pass over our limitation. One need to look deep into themselves and says, wait a second. If I was unlimited being, do I need to speak bad about someone to feel good about myself? No, this is only small-minded people, small little vessels who need some energy, speaking bad, getting the energy right away, right? When you gossip, when someone is gossip. I know some of you, stop doing it, right? And some of us still doing it. I just wanted to see how much energy exists when you gossip and realize this energy is really energy to put you down, and it comes right away, and it filled my vessel so fast. What do we want in this month? All our limitations, that you can see them that month, this particular time cosmically called Passover, will help you to skip over that, negativity, over that limitation. I need to do a few things to myself first. One is to strengthen the force of your mouth. The force of your mouth. What does it mean? our speech lost its power. Now I'll tell you why we don't have much power in our mouth like we used to have or we need to have. How many times you heard yourself saying, hey, tomorrow I'm going to go to the gym. Wake up and you didn't go. How many times you tell a friend, I see you then 5 o'clock, and then things change, you forgot, then you didn't even show up at 5 o'clock. I see you there, I'll meet you at 7 o'clock. Come 7 o'clock, you will show up 7:08, 7:10. Apologetic, blah, 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 very good. But what happened? You said something and it was not follow up with the proper action. Meaning, if you said something, if you pronounce, say you're going to do something, say you're going to be somewhere, say you do it, you cannot, you can't. But what you do, you're losing the power of speech. That tomorrow you will ask something, you will need something. Tomorrow, let's say you have a party and you want the weather to be great and you're asking, your mouth have no power anymore. Your word have no power anymore. If you see recently, back then, when you used to do business, it was a handshake and a word. Is it correct to say? You lived in that period of time, I lived in that period of time. There wasn't any contract. I never heard about contract. It's not too long ago. There was contract, but not like today. Today, if I want to talk to you, I sign NDA. We came to my friend's house right now, we sign NDA right away. You come to someone's house, you go to Uber car, you sign NDA. Yeah, you agreed. If you look at your application, you sign an NDA, whatever happened there, or whatever you did, you're signing. Why? Because over the years, people don't have, if you have a word and you stick to the word, there's no need a contract, there's no need a handshake, no need nothing. I give you a word, it's way more than any contract that you're never going to break. Today, even word, even contract, even anything that you do, still people violating this. So that's why we're losing the power of the mouth, because not because of contract, of course, but because we saying something and it's not follow up with an action. What happening? It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means you lost the force of your mouth. Therefore, every year, the beautiful system, that universal system that exists in this world, allowing us to strengthen that in this month, in this holiday. That's why we says when they go to Passover, people, what do? It's really all about reading such a section of the Haggadah, of some tales that we're reading, some story that we're reading. That's the whole Passover. You have to use your mouth to eat and drink specific items, and then specific reading that you want to verbalize in that day. Reactivating the power of your mouth. Pesach, the mouth who speaks. That's the whole month of Aries, is to bring back the force of humanity, which is called the Medaber, the one who speaks. There's no creature in this world who can speak like us. Therefore, we're the most elevated, but we haven't yet achieved the level that we speak and we create with our words. We create with the speech. So now, I'm going to give you 3 steps that can help you activating it. So, the big picture is in this month to strengthen your mouth, the power of your speech, that your word will be a word when you say something, it's getting done by you or by this universe. So number 1, because again, sometimes someone deal with the fear, certain fear. So you're going through that in your head. right? When someone goes through fear, is you don't know. It might be I'm talking to somebody here, over here, and they're going through fear, and you don't even know until they verbalize it, right? Then the fear is exposed, and then the fear have no power over the individual anymore. That's the power of the mouth. So let's understand in 3 steps, simple steps. One is to be able to use, obviously this time we call metzora, lehotzi et hara, to get the evil out. Metzora, this week, have the power to remove the evil. From where? From within us. We spoke a little bit last week, but this week, what we want to do is to start to look like an inventory of who you are, how you talk to specific people, how you feel in specific groups or in specific situations. What do you do when things doesn't go your way? One thing you need to start doing in this time, this week and next week as well, is to create an inventory of where am I inserting some venom, some poison in what I'm saying, what I'm doing, how I'm feeling, how I explain things. When we're throwing some daggers, right? Where is the poison going in? Where are you sticking it to that individual, right? Where is it? Where it comes with a little hatred, right? Disguised with positivity, but it's really a hateful situation. You have to find this and take that evil, not the whole thing, just the part that is the poison part, just the part that is the dagger part. You have to find it in the next couple of weeks. Where in my life I'm injecting that type of poison within positivity, within some, let's say you help someone or you talk to someone, but you're not really engaged. Dry type of it. You have to really detect those things because you're talking, but the energy is not there. You're losing the power of your mouth again. Remove the evil from within us, meaning to take the evil out, meaning from our conversation with others and within ourselves. You cannot walk around every single day waking up and speaking bad about yourself. It's also evil speech. When we're speaking bad about, I'm so bad, I'm so miserable, I'm so this, I'm all of that, you're also destroying yourself. That has to change. Take that evil out. Whatever it is that you want to say, no problem. Just take the edge off of that negativity. That's step number 1. Start there, small. Second step is, it's a little bit deeper, but obviously I'm sure we can stretch our mind. Second part is to stop the use of your qualities, of your gifts, of your greatness for yourself alone, for the sake of benefiting just you. That has to stop, at least to commit to stop that. Let me explain to you a little bit differently, because there is something that when you bake, there is the flour, there is the yeast, and there is water. Right? Some eggs or some salt or all the rest of the ingredients. But we know what is the yeast doing. He speaks in this week, you have to remove seor mi betechem. Remove the yeast from your house. What does it mean? Once you understand how beautiful it is, then you start thinking differently. remove. What is the job of the yeast? The yeast. What is the job of the yeast? Expand. Taking the flour and expand the flour to its highest level. How? If you put flour and you put yeast without water, it doesn't do the work. Correct? Doesn't do the work. Put flour and yeast, doesn't happen, nothing happens. When you add water, specific amount of water to specific amount of time, then it expands. You have bread, you have cake, whatever it is, expanding. Okay? Let's understand the system, why it's so important. And that's why, if for those of us who know historically, why they ate matzah, right? They ate a cracker going out of Egypt. In that time, we're eating some kind of leavened bread, right? It's still from flour without an yeast and with water, but for specific minutes. And I explain all of this because it's really a message, a deep message for all of us to awaken. What caused everything to expand? The yeast. The flour is still something we call it chametz, which is not as positive in Passover. But the yeast is what caused everything to become outrageous. The yeast is the one who caused everything to go out, out of proportion. Drama queen or drama king, you can call it, right? Lies, or all kind of kissing someone else, all kind of they want to be likable type of energy. What is the making it bigger for what? Just to exaggerate, just drama. Why? Let me explain to you why it's happening. Because each one of us using water. What is the water? Is your gifts. Let's say each one of us recognize we have a specific gift that is been given to us, and we're doing it. It's like, wow, one person have, I don't know, let's say the power of persuasion, right? Or the power of speech. So a great communicator, right? Or the power of each one of us with our own gift, have different ways, right? Kindness, someone have it naturally. I'm not talking about something that you have to work hard for, something that is naturally happening. A great chef, a great this, solving problem, chaos organizers, people who are really good in organization or hooking up situation to what needed. They have this ability. That considered to be their water. If I have a gift, let's say, for example, happen to be, I'm a teacher of Kabbalah, okay, and for whatever reason, they tell me, okay, you need to teach, you probably have some kind of a great communication, great way to deliver the wisdom, you need to teach. That's what the Creator told me. So I'm teaching. But imagine I can use the same thing to lure people to something negative or to something of myself alone. Let's say if I have a business or if I have things, you can use that gift to lure people to a negative place. I'm not talking about when you use your gift, when you bring your water to like a fountain for others, to nourish, others to expand, others to grow. I don't want to use my gift to anything that is related to benefit myself alone. Why? Because that water, right? goes into that east. What is that east? The desire to receive to ourself alone. That's the east. The ego is the east, all of that. And you put water, right? You use your greatness, you use your kindness, you use your smile, you use your lightness to people to lure them to do what you want, right? Because you added something positive of your nature, but really the depth of it is connected to ego. It's connected to a very low level of serving just me. Therefore, this is the water that you're adding, but it's expanded and create way more negative things than positive. You can do the same thing to use all your gift, all your powers, technology, whatever. You're great in technology, you're great in marketing, you're great in editing, you're great in this, you're doing it for the sake of helping others and increasing their abilities in life and in their life. But if you use it with the agenda to draw everything for my own benefit, you just end up with just emptiness, just exaggerating situation for absolute no reason. And it's just empty and disconnected. Very important to understand it, because many people pulling to their own direction. That mean, that mean there's inflated, right? The yeast start to work. You add a little bit water, it keeps expanding more, right? Sometimes you find yourself telling a lie, and now it's too late to go back from that lie. Now all of you have that. All of you bury those lies for long time because you started somewhere and it became too many people now to go ahead and cancel that lie. You know how many times I'm dealing with that? But now people tell me, what should I do now? Everybody know I'm a fake, I'm lying for, they don't even know I lied to them for this. What should I do? Sometimes you start doing something, you don't even know that eventually you cannot even stop. For example, you want to be kind to a friend of yours and invite them to your house. You don't have where to stay. Come stay. Anybody want to stay here? My friend Sam, I have an extra room. Yeah, for sure. You want to stay for the night, and then end up 3 months later trying to, evict them from your own home. Happened to you before sometime, right? I just invite them for a day. Guests come, stay over, right? Stop. Or you have a friend, you have a family member, you start giving them some money to help them, and when you stop, they get so upset with you already. You started something because you're kind, but it's also connected to the self alone. Therefore, now should I stop it? Oh, became an outrageous war. Try that. You see, every time you're using your qualities, your greatness, but it's really come from, I'm using it, but just to leave me alone, or just to look good, or just to sound good. And then you end up being the situation go even way more than what you anticipated, and it become chaos. So please be careful when you use your qualities. You're adding water, right? Then, every time you really making sure that you not talking or saying things just because you can, just because you're a great speaker, just because you said, I'm going to give you, but you don't. You're weakening yourself. You're weakening who you are. You're weakening your word. You're weakening your power. The third aspect of that, the third part of that, is because it's the power of the mouth. We all want to use the mouth to open up and share about that specific process. What does it mean? We're not opening up for the sake of complaining or tell people how bad things are. We open our mouth to open our heart and to express the darkness that I got involved with. the embarrassment that I went through. Expose it with your mouth, and someone that is really a friend or someone who loves you, there is a great benefit. Bless you. There's a great benefit for you in this period of time before coming in for 12 days or whatever to Passover, and then it's closed. There's a window in time that gives us a complete new pipes, new ways of communication. But if I'm not doing anything different, and if I want to stay the same, and I'm not doing anything to expose the darkness inside of me and remove it, not for the sake of complaining or making me feel good about myself. Passover, this month that is coming every month, is a gift from the Creator to reinforce the power of our words, the power of our mouth, the power of the speech that we lost. We talking, nothing happened. Because most of the day we're wasting our words on nonsense. You know, I really like that if you're not doing, if you do nothing different, nothing different will happen, right? So if you're not changing how you speak, how you use your words, how you use your mouth, how you connecting to your power, if you're not changing something about it, you won't be able to see something different. So obviously, in this time, again, make some lists, make some what we call inventory of what needs to really remove, what needs to add, what needs to be clean, what type of, where am I using my words for my own advantage, where am I using speech just to make myself feel good about myself. All of this we're bringing this couple of weeks, and this is where we start, obviously completely remove the type of behavior like that. Commit that this year we're not engaging in that type of conversation or that type of behavior, right? We're opening up about it. We express our desire to make it different or to be different, right? And in a way, we're asking for help. This is it. 3 steps that I want you to do. And the most important part is after you do the work, it has to be exposed. Because once it's exposed, the negativity, the struggle, the fear, that insecurity you're dealing with, once it's exposed, it's been removed. If you keep that inside, I'm embarrassed, don't want them to know, share it with someone that you feel trust, that it will always going to be there, and someone that loves you and someone that you love them. Okay? And that is very important step. Because if you go through the situation, it's like, okay, what is my east? What is my negativity? And if I'm wrapping it with some positivity, a gift that the Creator gave me, is just expand to become chaos that I cannot control anymore. Remember the rule, that east. That's why in this time we remove it, because I want an absolute control over my mouth, of the power of the speech. This is the layer that we want. The last gift I want to share with you. I said before, when someone had leprosy, they would put him in quarantine. Then he says, "Vehuva el hakohen," and then he was brought in front of a priest. And that priest, that high priest in the Kohen, used to look at them. Ve'ra'u Kohen, and the Kohen look at him. Ve'ine nehefach hanega, and then it completely transformed the infected to clear the place. All of a sudden, it was clearing the place. Beautiful gift. What do we want to ask this week specifically and working on for the next week? because it's a couple of weeks work, is I want to become that priest. I want to become, each one of us. What does it mean? When you have a friend of yours, I'm sure you have those people in your life, that anytime they have a struggle, they have a problem, they just need to come and talk to you and they feel great. I just look at my friend, I know everything is going to be fine. You have those people? If not, you have to find them. And also become that individual for somebody else. Because people go through chaos, people go through difficulty, people go through challenges, and then they see you, and all of a sudden everything changes. Wow, I saw my friend, I know everything is going to be fine. Okay, let's say if you're married and you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend and you have a very difficult day, and you come home and you look at your wife, you look at your girlfriend, and she tells you everything is going to be fine. She was the high priest for you, or vice versa, right? You come to your boss and your department is suffering. Boss, what should you do? So much problem. I don't know what to do with this employee. Your boss look at you and says, it's going to be fine. And you feel, wow. Meaning, at that moment, the infected situation or completely been converted. You're dealing with that from a completely different place. But you need that individual in your life, and you need to become that individual for others. That's what it is. You cannot have that person without you become that for somebody else. Cannot. That you go through something, you go through difficulty, challenging days, you call your friend, or even you went and you saw your friend, I feel my problem being removed. Right in that moment, they were the high priest for you. And this is a gift that we all have to convert any infected situation into a pure situation that I can handle and I can transform. That's a huge gift that we all want to have. Yes, anybody have any question? Anybody wants to know a little bit more? Something wasn't clear? You're welcome to ask.
I have a question.
Please.
How can a fear or something that the negativity just be removed simply by sharing it with someone? Like why is that automatic?
It's a good question, but why is it automatic? Because negativity is part of the illusionary world.
Okay.
If it stays within you, which is talking to your soul, convincing your soul to be bad, to be small, right? Your soul is part of the real world. The fear, insecurity, and the body is part of the illusionary world.
Okay.
Once you take it out of you, you took it to the illusion have no power anymore. Illusion is illusion. It's been removed. When you keep it in your consciousness, you have to understand your consciousness is very powerful. Your mind, your heart is very powerful. If you keep that in your mind and your heart, it just expand.
I see. So it's like you're exposing the lie, and then it's easier to see that it's
Expose the lie, exactly.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you.
Yes.
I have a question, a little bit more practical. I
Please.
just finished my work email. Should I come over and hang out with you guys, or or are you guys going to wrap up immediately?
It's very sweet of you, by the way, but I'm not gonna stay. By the time I know
Okay,
you're
got it.
Brooklyn, you are right across, yes, but you're
It'll be
Brooklyn.
like 15 minutes. It'll be like max 15, 10, 15. I'm right in Williamsburg.
Yeah,
Up to you.
No, but I think Sam is here if you want. Anyway, yes,
I love hanging out with Sam.
Yeah, anyone want to ask question? Anyone wants to share something about it? If not, that's fine, all good. So I'm going to wait another second, reminding you again, until if anybody have any question, anything they want to know, no problem. Lehotzi et hara, to take the evil out of our system. This is the power of this week. If someone thinks that evil negativity, any force like that have power over them, they fell into illusion. They fell into illusion. And obviously the mouth have no power. So whatever they say is not going to happen either way. So whatever it is, what you want to connect, motzi et hara, I'm taking out the evil within me. How? First of all, I'm exposing it. I'm detecting it. I'm exposing it. And I also stop behaving this way, meaning I take the daggers out. I take the poison out from the edge, you know. I take the edge out, you know. That's what I'm doing. So everything that you share is being clear and clean and pure, and you will see the power of your mouth, the power of your speech become way more than what you can imagine. So I want to wish you a beautiful week, and hopefully this month, you have to do it the entire month. Started Friday night, the entire month, you have the power to strengthen your mouth. So please, I want to say, I don't want to say the word must, but please don't engage with evil speech. Convert it into speaking good and speaking in the benefit of others, my friend. Please do it this week. You will see the benefit and you see the blessings. Thank you so much.